All right, let's talk about Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks pull off a huge victory, especially with the Rams beating the Bills. They needed this victory to keep their one-game lead currently. Those two teams play each other the final game of the season, and Seattle's got a tough stretch coming up, playing the Packers and the Vikings their next two games. So needed this win. They probably would be out if they lost, but they pull out the victory. Let's talk about what Geno Smith did well in this game, because I think he is an underrated player, having a really nice season. And I think part of it is he's not quite as sexy of a player as some of these other guys are. Like, this situation is exactly why Geno Smith is good, and also why he might not make the highlight reels the way some other guys would. So the concept itself, it's zone coverage, and the way it works for Seattle is there's several deep shots that they really want to look towards. If nothing gets open there, no worries, you got a couple checkdowns against zone, they can get open. However, when this play begins, Smith runs a play action, and you see there's an Arizona player who's running a stunt right here, which essentially means that you start off doing one thing, but then go somewhere else while you're rushing the passer. Hopefully that lane has been cleared up, and in this situation, it's worked out. Two offensive linemen are covering the guy who's now more towards the top of the screen. You have a straight lane to get to Geno Smith. However, Smith is able to avoid that pressure and then flips it, and they're able to get a check down. Again, that's nothing huge at all, right? That's a 7-yard gain. It's something that probably the broadcast, if they're in the middle of a story, just go right back to telling the story instead of even talking about the play. But it's a huge play in the game, if you think about it. I mean, if he gets sacked right there, now it's a 2nd down and 17. You're probably not going to be able to score points on this drive. Instead, this was a field goal drive. So boom, that's 3 points right there. That's important stuff there by Seattle. And then also he can make the highlight reel level plays from time to time as well, right? That's not all he can do. Something like this, it's a zone coverage concept. It's going to be Tyler Lockett running a setup route, trying to, hold an Arizona player further, more over the middle. And then you have Jackson Smith and Jigba going towards the corner of the end zone. Hopefully that can get open. You're going to see Smith takes the snap. He looks over, says, yeah, this play is working as designed. Let's take it down the field. Hopefully we can get a touchdown. There's a window. Again, it's not the biggest window in the world. It really isn't. But it's a beautiful throw from Smith. Great catch by Jackson Smith and Jigba to make it work. So, I mean, and really great route by him more than anything. That's probably the highlight of the play. But that's a difficult play, right? And they're able to consistently make these plays, and that's how they were able to beat Arizona. You saw the Cardinals doing a lot of this, of just let's play zone coverage. It's kind of what they like to do, and it's worked out all right for them this season. I mean, they will mix it up for sure, but, I think with a team that maybe doesn't have the best personnel, you look at, like, the names on the back of the jerseys, they've been able to maybe outperform that. But here, the Seahawks just knew how to beat it. Again, divisional matchups, you know each other so well. Something like this, simple concept, but one that works. Have a receiver run a deep route, just trying to push Arizona players further deep. Usually that more shallower route is the one that gets open. Look, as you see, again, this is everyone buying in, right? You got to run the setup routes correctly. The setup routes work, and because of that, you now have a player who's just open. It's nothing crazy, but, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's a good guy to get the ball in his hands, right? Smith is going to fire it to him. Smith and Jigba is able to pick up a good amount of yards on that play, actually. It turns into like a 17-yard gain. Again, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing you look at and say, wow, what amazing stuff by Seattle. But when you do things like this, it essentially forces Arizona out of the defense they want to play, and that can put you in a good situation. So Arizona in this situation says, okay, 3rd down and 10, well, let's mix things up a little bit. We know they're throwing the ball. You know what? Let's send a house, why don't we? Let's really apply pressure here against the Seattle Seahawks. See if we can, I don't know, maybe force a turnover, or at least get him to throw an incomplete pass and then get the ball back. Geno Smith takes the snap. He looks down the field. Pressure is coming, and that's going to affect the play. I mean, when it's a cover 0, you have more guys rushing than there are blockers, so usually going to affect the play. Smith needs to hold on just a second longer for this play to work. But while getting hit, he is able to make this throw, and it just works. Jackson Smith-Njigba, again, really good in open space, able to get some more yards. It's a great play. You move the sticks, are able to get the first down and get some extra yards on top of it. And again, was it the prettiest throw? No, but he was getting hit, was still able to make a catchable throw there, and you're able to convert. If you're a Seahawks fan, you'll take that every single time. Also, I got to talk about Zach Charbonnet for a second, the running back who had a really nice day. This was kind of the key play. So this is actually later on that drive. They keep the drive alive, are currently up 7 points, and they're going to run the ball because you still have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the half. You see the concept on the screen. Both the right guard and right tackle are going to be pulling from the offense's right to the offense's left. So first, that Arizona player, he's the first unblocked player who's, on this play. Usually this is what you do. If you run to the left, a lot of times you'll leave the edge rusher towards the right unblocked, just as, they're unlikely to be able to get into the play. Hopefully, they maybe go too far towards the outside and you can just, run past them. But also that Arizona player, who I'm assuming wasn't designed to be the first unblocked player, but it just kind of worked out that way. Watch what he does. Watch as he, I think he was just blitzing on this play, and sometimes you just get kind of a lottery situation. He blitzes, everyone else makes their blocks. There was a little bit of contact, not enough to bring Charbonnet down though, and at this point, it's a foot race. But it's still a foot race. I mean, Arizona could try to win the race and not give up a touchdown right here. That's certainly possible. Now Charbonnet needs to come through. As you see, he's able to really just outrun everybody, and while it was almost, he almost got taken down at the end, not quite, is able to run by them, gets a touchdown that puts them up 2 scores, and really, Arizona kind of spent the whole game trying to come back. Their defense actually did a really good job of holding in the second half, I thought. Like heading over to this play, the Seahawks had 5 possessions in the second half. They ended up with 2 field goal drives and 3 punts. That's good if you're, the Cardinals. It wasn't good enough in this game, but that's still pretty good. But here's, I think, why they were able to kind of slow down the Seahawks. It all just comes down to coverage. They ended up just playing the cover 2 zone, and it worked out a lot better once they kind of, the Seahawks would run their schemes designed to beat those coverages, but Arizona rotated their coverage well. Watch, you see right here, Smith looks down the field, doesn't love what he sees, but this is the other, I think, real benefit of Geno Smith is really in this game, what he needed to make sure he didn't do was put the ball in harm's way. They were okay giving the ball back, not being able to convert every single time. Their defense was playing well. Obviously, you want to be able to convert, but if nothing's open, don't do anything stupid. Watch, he simply just throws a check down right here. They don't get the first down, gain, only a couple more yards. Okay, the play didn't work out, but there was no turnover, right? He never made the big mistake, which is really the only thing that could have cost them in the second half. So while you do have to give credit to the Cardinals for being able to play better, part of it too was, there were several drives to where the first time, there was one drive where Smith didn't even pass the football. They ran it 3 times and punted. And then there was another drive where they, it was a run on first down, a run on second down, a penalty, and then it was 3rd and 7 the first time Smith had another pass. So, that hurt as well, I think, when they're playing a little bit more cautiously by design. But hey, still able to get the victory because, partially because they played cautiously was the right strategy. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on a really impressive Seattle Seahawks defense performance, which I'll probably make a Kyler video at some point, but, really good, good stuff here by Geno Smith. At least that's what I think of all of this. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.